How would you like to develop a charismatic personality? The kind of personality that people notice when you walk in the room and that's attractive to people, that opens doors and creates opportunities. In this video, I'll share with you some possibly surprising ways that you can cultivate a more charismatic personality. A magnetic personality is one that draws people in, that attracts people because of your connection, your certainty, and your heart. If you do some homework and some research like I've recently done, you'll find out that the Heart Math Institute has uncovered some pretty amazing information about how the heart works and how it impacts how others perceive us and how magnetic and charismatic we are. So one of the things that I was just blown away to learn is that we are emotional projection machines. That's right. Our heart is projecting our emotions out into the world through an electromagnetic field that can actually be measured. So before I dive into how to have a more attractive and magnetic personality, we've got to address the fact that we have to feel magnetic and feel attractive first before we can actually be magnetic and attractive to others. So there are 6 things that go into having you be more magnetic and attractive and have you feel that way first. The first is your own internal alignment. When we're not aligned, when we're doing things that we don't enjoy, or we are being inauthentic, or we are doing work every day that doesn't feel very good, we're out of alignment. And when we're out of alignment, our emotional state is not optimal. We're feeling a little off. And when we're feeling a little off emotionally, we now know from this heart math research that we are projecting that feeling of being a little off out into the world. Now, people might not actually perceive it consciously, but they can definitely perceive it unconsciously. So the first thing we want to do is get into alignment. Alignment is about having what we do align with who we really are, meaning our strengths, our gifts, our passions, our talents, that we be utilizing those every day in our business or in our work. The challenge lies in that a lot of us were taught when we were little, like I was, that you can't make money doing what you love, that you have to sacrifice and struggle in order to make a living. So a lot of us received the programming that we had to be out of alignment in order to make a living in this world. Now, the fact is that's simply not true. I'm not going to go deep into that in this particular video, but know that alignment and having what you do be aligned with who you really are is one of the core things that makes us feel better and be more attractive to other people. The second thing I've already touched on briefly, and that is our emotional state. When we are feeling in an emotional state that's positive, what we're projecting out into the world is positive. And when we're in an emotional state that's negative, what we're projecting is negative. So us having awareness of how we're feeling and what we're projecting out into the world goes a long way towards making us more magnetic and more attractive to others. The third thing is our energy state. I use a distinction that I learned from a guy named Donnie Epstein, who wrote a book called The 12 Stages of Healing. I use the distinction of energy poor, energy neutral, energy rich, and energy super rich. Now, energy super rich is a state that we can't really live in all the time, but energy poor is a state that we definitely don't want to be living in all the time. The place that we want to be living in is really energy rich, with taking occasional trips up into energy super rich. So our energy state is a big part of how we're perceived by others. Now, again, this might be subconscious. They might not consciously be saying, hey, this person is energy poor, I don't want to be around them. But chances are they're feeling like, oh, there's something about this person that I just don't want to spend too much time with. So to be a magnetic personality, we want to be projecting at that energy rich state with, like I said, trips here and there into energy super rich. The fourth thing that helps us become a more magnetic personality is our expression. It's what we say and create in the world. Our expression is our language, the words we use, the stuff that we write, what we put out into the world from a messaging perspective. And the second is what we put out into the world from a creative perspective. For example, art is something that we create in the world. When we put art out into the world, that's an expression of us, and that can help us project ourselves out into the world and attract people through that magnetism and attraction. The fifth key component to being magnetic might surprise you, because it's not about who you're being and what you're putting out into the world at all. It's really about receiving. It's about being open to other people. If you're a person who is always in expression mode, always in energy rich mode, and you're always putting out, people can get exhausted being around that energy for too long. So a big part of being magnetic is being someone who also inhales, someone who receives, someone who is open to other people's gifts, not just putting your gifts out into the world. And the final way to be in a magnetic personality is to be generous, to be someone who has so much energy, so much abundance that your cup runneth over. That's a term from the old Hebrew Bible, and I just love it. It signifies that you have more than enough to share with others, and that generosity is very compelling and attractive. Now, of course, always within having boundaries and standards around how you are generous and what you give away and to whom. If you're interested in developing a more charismatic personality and in aligning what you do with who you really are, then click on the link below and get our Monetize Your Magic Playbook for free, which will help you take another step forward in your personal development and in your career and in your life. Enjoy.